FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
Now, I am here tonight with the simple theme of a simple man faced by a very, very simple opposition. And that is that, like Malcolm Turnbull, democracy is not all it's cracked up to be and never was. And I was very glad that my preceding speaker introduced God into this debate, because as a Catholic, God belongs to me. With apologies to Kevin Rudd. And I think God's important here, because you see, if you look at the Bible, God's on our side. Have you ever read the Old Testament? There's not a lot of democracy, not a lot of consultation and participation, but a lot of slewing and smiting and biting. And that's not surprising, because quite frankly, I don't think God could have got the numbers for her program. Humanity destroying floods, the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, Parramatta perhaps, but not Godom and Samora. Now, all in all, if you look at the Old Testament, it really does seem to roll out according to a strategic plan by Fred Nile, with special effects by Mel Gibson, but not a lot of Clover Moore. And I suggest to you, therefore, that it may well be that democracy is not God's plan. And there's further evidence to suggest that that is true. The great works of civilization, the pyramids, the Colossus of Rhodes, the Colosseum, the Victorian freeway system under the Kennett government, all given by brutal dictatorships. Whereas democracy has given us McDonald's baseball caps round the wrong way and Bronwyn Bishop. Now, can this really surprise us when we look at the history of Western democracy? Frankly, I speak for Carmen Lawrence here, a grossly overrated concept. After all, the average Western democratic politician, by definition, is a serial megalomaniac with one hand on the crotch of the electorate while the other picks its pocket. And I know that's right because I took it from the application form for the New South Wales right. Look at the examples of their leaders. United Kingdom, Margaret Thatcher, known to history as Attila the Hen. John Major, known to history as the man who came after Margaret Thatcher. Tony Blair, the man who had so much spin he vanished up his own axis, and that is just as painful as it sounds. And in the United States, Ronald Reagan, the man who saved the world by sleeping through the Cold War. George Bush, a man so inarticulate he makes Barry O'Farrell sound like Cameron Daddo. And Barack Obama, the hope of the Western world, although we know it will all end up in deflation, disappointment and recrimination like a two-night stand with an inflatable doll. And so I think the thesis that we put forward tonight really is, and I put it as a thesis because that's a lawyer's word for something that will cost you a lot of money and probably isn't true, that democracy performs even in the glorious West with all the aptness of a chainsaw juggler at a children's birthday party.